I built a meeting scheduling backend using Node.js TypeScript, Express, Sequelize, and MySQL. As it was mentioned in the assignment, the system prevents overlapping time slots using a service layer conflict detection rule. And I also implemented JWT based authentication, which was optional, but I thought it is necessary. Then migration based database schema management and modular architecture separating controllers, services, and models. I also added pagination and date filtering with proper normalization to handle edge cases like single day queries and multiple day queries. Now we will understand the overall architecture of this project and how the code flows from one file to another file. So let's start from the modules. As we know that the real projects are module driven. So here I have created two modules. One is meeting and the other one is for user. So inside the meeting modules, I have other folders for validation and this is my controller folder index. And here I have interface folder. Then another one is for module and this is my service, which is the brain of our backend. This file basically contains business rules, handles conflict detection, talks to Sequelize model, throws error if rules are violated, and it will contain all the logic of update meeting, create meeting. And in this file, I have also created the logic of pagination here. Here I have my controller file inside the index. So this file basically accepts HTTP request, extract parameters, call service, and it also sends response. And here I have created all the logic of get meeting, update meeting, delete meeting, and the other create meetings. Here I have created my validation file. This validate request v4 controller runs. So invalid request never reach service. And this is a clean API. As you can see, this is not empty. So title is required and the other field are also I have created or used some other properties of DTU. Inside the module, I have sequelized models such as meeting.model.ts. So instead of select a star from meetings, with Sequelize we use meeting.findAll. This is our route folder. Here I have created index.ts. So this file basically defines a HTTP method, path, middleware, and controller. Here I have created all the routes related to users, login, dynamic routes, meetings, and post meeting, get meetings, put, delete, every route. This is our middleware folder. Here I have created auth middleware. So this extract the token and verify the token, then attaches user to request. This is my error middleware, which I have separately created. It catches all the thrown errors. Instead of express default HTML error, here this file will return clean JSON and professional API behavior. And inside the config folder, we have our database file. This creates equalized instance and establishes connection pool with MySQL. I also created a JWT.ts file inside the utils. This file handles token generation and verification. And I have created this file separately because it keeps logic centralized. We will check all the APIs of our backend system, whether it is working or not. First, we will check our database. Here I have created a database of meeting scheduler, which consists of three tables: meeting, Sequelize meta, and user. So inside the users, I have already created three users for testing purpose, and it stores ID, name, email, password, created at, updated at, and inside the meetings, there are all the meetings which I have already created. This was for the testing purpose. Here it stores ID of every meeting, start time of every meeting, end time, user ID, the user which created all these meetings, created at, updated at. Now we will hit the API to create a user. Here I have given a new user information, name, email, password, and we will get in response true. Here I have get the username Rahul, email, and now I will log in. So I have already pasted the information, email and password, and I will get a new token here. and I will copy this token for the access of new meetings. So when I create a meeting, I must use this token for the verification. Then inside the body, I have given a meeting information, which is backend performance analysis and start time of the meeting and end time of the meeting. And in the response, I must get the title backend performance analysis. When I hit this API, as you can see, the API is working. Now I will overlap this meeting. For overlapping, this must show that time slot is already booked. So I will use this meeting data again. And when I hit this API again with the same body, it must show that time slot is already booked. Okay. So here we can see it is showing that time slot is already booked. So now we will check the update meeting API. So to update a meeting, we must pass the meeting ID here. So let's check the meeting which we want to update. Suppose we want to update meeting 8. So the start time of this meeting is 6th of May. So we will change it to the 7th of May. We will check the ID which is 8. 8. Now we will change it to the 7th of May. So as you can see in response, the meeting is changed. In the here it is 6. Now it is 7. So our update API is working well. Now we will delete a meeting. The user has already logged in and the JWT token is already pasted. So now we will delete a meeting which is of ID 11. So the meeting deleted successfully. Let's check in the database, refresh it, and the meeting is deleted. So the delete API is working. Now we will get the user. To get the user, we must pass the user ID.
Firstly, we will copy the JWT token of the user and then we will paste it into the wearer token.
Okay, I forgot to add a slash here. Now the API is working good. As you can see, the information is here. All the APIs are working well. Now we will go for get meetings. Inside the project, I have implemented the logic of pagination. So it must give a limited response to the user. So when I hit the meetings tab with JWT token,
Then we must get all the meetings which are there in our database.
as you can see, we get all the meetings. But here I have page 1. Here I have created a limit. And this is a pagination logic which is showing this response to us. Total records are 8. This is not valid for this API. I have to paste JWT token. Then we know that total records are 9. Current page is 1 and the total pages are there 5. So on first page we get only 2 responses of the meetings. On page 2 I must get another 2 responses. Here I have 2 responses again. So the pagination logic is working well. And now we will check all the filter logic which I have implemented in our project. So this is a API to filter the meetings with the date range of a single day. So all the meetings which start at this date and end with this date must be in the response. So let's check in the database. As you can see in the meetings, there are meetings started at 1 of April. So we will add here 1st of April. So all the meetings which start at 1 April must be in the response. So here are total 5 records. So on page 1, there is all the records. So here we get 5 records of the meetings and the total pages are there is 1. Now we will check the meetings filter with the multiple days. So here I have 5 records of meetings with this range. Only after a certain date. So when I hit this API, I got all the meetings which start after this date.
Inside our database, all the meetings have started after the 2nd of March. That's why in the response we get all the meetings.
Now we will check the filter by user. So all the meetings created by user ID 5 must be in the response. So let's check if there is any user with ID 5 or not in our database. So there is a user named Rahul ID 6. So here I have written 6 and the user ID 6 has created only one meeting. So this is in the response. So our all the APIs are working fine. All the filter logic and get meeting logic, create user login, create meeting, overlap meeting, deletion of the meeting, and updation of the meeting. Everything works perfectly. And the pagination of the project is also working fine. So this is all about this project. Thank you.